Many people desire to learn dance and become performing artists. Many others prefer to dance for themselves. It does not matter if a dance appears aesthetic or not, whether their bodies are slim, streamlined or not, and if their bodies can make precise lines and shapes or not. Creative movement therapy provides such people an expressive and reflective experience in which the therapeutics of dance matter more than the choreographed product. The term dance movement therapy was coined in the United States and gradually gained acceptance in India and other countries. Movement therapists use the medium of movement to tease out self-expression from individuals. Participants express and interact through their movements with others in a group, and these are eventually used to interpret individual psychologies and meet certain therapeutic goals. In some cases, people who have undergone emotional or physical trauma find it easier to express themselves through movement or music. In other cases, adults who were totally uncommunicative through words have found their expression through drama and dance.
CMTAI means Creative Movement Therapy Association of India, and the whole idea was that when it got formed, a lot of dance therapists wanted to work together to support each other, and there was no support system in India. We also do not have training schools in India at that time. So the idea was, can we stay as a closely knit group to support each other, to work with different kinds of population, like with people with special needs, people who are, in de-addiction centers.
Creative movement therapy encourages a collaborative relationship between therapists and participants. Using a session like a laboratory, they jointly experiment and play with movement. The body thinks aloud, brainstorming movements that are based on certain suppressed needs or feelings. There are no judgments on whether a movement is right or wrong. Movers are encouraged to explore and expand their feelings, thoughts and ideas through movement. This discipline is based on the belief that our body language reveals various facets of our personality. Movements, gestures and postures reveal our passions, insecurities and emotions, the kind of love and affection we received, abuse we suffered, as well as our hopes and attitudes. All these feed into and shade our movement behavior. Movements also reflect how open or closed we are, how tense or relaxed we are, and whether we prefer to be leaders or followers. Most movement practitioners say there are connections between the workings of our mind and our body's movements. This happens consciously and unconsciously. Therefore, certain changes that occur on the movement level affect the entire being and functioning of an individual. For instance, slow-paced movements of the hands combined with certain breathing patterns calm the mind and bring down stress levels in individuals. As they move to music and learn to coordinate their body parts better.
So movement therapy to me is a way to deepen an awareness of oneself.
How it helped me was extremely surprising, because me being a dancer for so long, there were still areas of my body and my understanding and awareness of the self which were really hidden and I had not come to terms with.
So finding a way to stay fit in the body through movement and bringing together a group of people through movement therapy to help maintain their functional capacities in a society today where older adults are becoming more and more prevalent.
Totally triggered to go back to my workplace and do a lot of research for the work I've done. I think I've not wasted but really not utilized the work that I've done. I'm going to put into report.
The experience has been fabulous so far.
It really empowers an individual and makes us aware of how important the body is and how movement is such a powerful tool in understanding the body, the mind and the soul and the relationship that all three.
Movement therapy can be used with a wide range of diagnostic categories divided broadly into people who are faced with intellectual, emotional, psychological and physical challenges. It can also be used with normal functioning children, adolescents, adults and the elderly. Movement therapists work in special schools, rehabilitation and treatment centers, educational settings, de-addiction centers, hospitals, halfway homes, and a wide variety of NGOs. Therapists facilitate movement therapy sessions with individuals and in groups. Activities like role-playing, trust games, movements using props or working with emotional expression, imagery, attunement practices, and storytelling are often used. It is believed changes that take place within these sessions are bound to influence a person's behavior and actions in everyday situations as well. As movement takes over people's bodies, the stress and strain of everyday living slips away as heartbeats quicken, sweat pours forth, and fresh movements invigorate bodies. The ultimate goal is achieved when participants get deeply involved in the therapeutic processes, learn to resolve their issues and conflicts through movement experiences and verbal sharing. These in turn encourage them to develop creative coping mechanisms to deal with problems in their real-life situations.